God damn it. It's so complicated. I don't know. I don't know. My personal experience with dating apps is that, it's very, very difficult to succeed. And it could be a colossal waste of time and money. So it's like, I don't know. You probably have more success if you basically go outside and like do things, because the competition is just brutal. I've basically tried like apps like Bumble, where I basically gotten, not much success. I've also tried Hinge, which was very similar to Bumble. And then I have also tried Tinder, which is very successful. And basically it's like, with Bumble, I've basically gotten like, 10 females, 10 women. And you have to say females, And with Hinge, I've basically gotten, 20 something women. But with Hinge, it's like, that's basically because they're more scammers. It's not because they're better than Bumble. And then you have Tinder. And with Tinder, they have like given me access to like, I don't know, 6,000 women. And it's basically like, I don't know, over time you develop like multiple systems that you use to basically find women. And it becomes like this enormously complicated thing that you waste enormous amounts of time on. And my recommendation is that you should basically just use the free version. And then you should basically just upgrade your profile so that you basically get like, you get some likes. And if you're not getting likes on your profile, you're basically going to, have very little chance when you're like paying for the product. Because my experience is that like the free product has like given me like access to like, 1,500 females, whereas like Tinder Platinum has like given me access to like, I don't know, 3,500. So it's like you can get, access to a lot of stuff if you basically pick the free version. The problem is, of course, that like, the platforms are full of scammers and people trying to con you, and all kinds of women who want to hurt your feelings and steal your money. So it's like, it's very difficult to take, it's very, very difficult to be serious. And as a result, it's like women basically demand that you're serious, and it's like, it's almost impossible to be serious. I also basically have like, multiple like systems where like because it's like you have like one system, and then you have a second system, and then you have a third system. And then you basically like, it's like multiple systems of manipulation to basically get access to the women that you want. And it's like funny because it's like I'm like pretending that I like, oh yeah, I just accidentally, got like 6,000 women. And it's like, it's like over 5 years, So it's like, it's not like, oh, I just got 6,000 women. It's like a 5 year span, But I don't know. My recommendation is that, you should focus on your profile, and you should basically work on things like your hair and your clothing. And you should basically, try not to sound like a crazy person, which is very difficult with all the crazy people that you have to deal with. And there's going to be a lot of people, who are basically women who just want to like, hurt your feelings or steal your money, or like all kinds of crazy, Asian bitches who are basically just scammers. And it's, it's like, it's brutal. Like literally, if you're a young person, like you really shouldn't do dating apps, because you're going to become an asshole. Like you become like emotionally numb by all the nonsense. So if you're a young person, you really shouldn't do dating apps. because it's just going to hurt your feelings. You're going to become a very hard individual if you do dating apps at a very young age. So anyhow, but I think it's, hilarious. Like, I think it's like, for me, it's like Pokemon. It's like, entertaining. I find it's like an entertainment of my life, and like, I pay for Tinder Platinum, but that's only because I basically have, like, I used it for like 4 years without paying for it. It's like, if you are going to pay for this product, you actually have to work on your profile. Otherwise, it's a waste of money because the competition is so extreme. And also, a lot of guys think like, oh, you don't get likes because like, oh, you're so ugly. And it's like, no, that's not the reason. The reason is because you live somewhere where there's just massive amounts of dudes. And I don't live in such a place. I live in a place where there's massive amounts of women. That's why I have any access. It's not because, oh, I'm so attractive, I'm so pretty, I have so much money. No, it's literally because I live in a place where there's massive amounts of females. There's massive amounts of women where I live. That's the only reason I have any access. And I don't know. But for me, it's like, I don't know, like I've only had like, for me, it's basically like a total fiasco when you literally have like, you've matched like 500 women and you're still literally alone. So it's like, I'm not saying like, oh, you can find your loved one. It's like, yes, you can find your loved one, but she's going to demand that you're perfect. And she's going to basically like, like, it's like the humor. Like I can get women that are like 10 years younger than me who are beautiful. The problem is they want to do all kinds of crazy shit. So it's like, it's like a different age range, and it's like really difficult to basically be, emotionally compatible. But, for me, like the whole thing is like, it's very, very funny entertainment. It's like, it's really funny to basically like, it's a way of entertaining yourself. It's like, it's very, very amusing. That's basically it. It's like, but like if you basically are a young person, you have to understand that like it's brutal and it's basically going to hurt your feelings a lot if you basically, don't prepare yourself for that.
God damn it.
I'm testing out like these Bowers and Wilkins PI8s, and I'm using them to basically monitor my audio. So it's like an interesting setup. Like I'm using this like fancy application for making video. And then I have like a microphone, and I have like a connection to my I don't know, what do you call it? Like the box that the earbuds are in. I'm like transmitting my own audio, listening to myself, watching the meters go up and down. Like, I don't know. I was thinking about basically making this my new my new computer part. It's like why not? Like Amiga 500, cutting edge technology. And I don't know. I thought like maybe like basically what I did was like you can use like artificial intelligence to basically make these programs that you can use to connect to these things via serial port. And it's like an interesting, experiment. You can basically have fun playing around with the older computers, because it's like, you paid for them full price, Then you gotta make sure that, you have extracted all the value. Oh my God. It's always so funny, like I do these things and I'm like, oh yeah, like the settings. I have no idea what the settings are. Because, why would I care about all the settings? It's like I literally have no idea if this is correct. It's like the fun part, like I basically like try to learn this stuff And then every time I use it, like all my settings are basically wrong. Because like I basically just, I'm too stupid to basically remember that like, oh, you're supposed to check the settings. Okay. Like, like I have not even like watched this final episode. No, that was season 3. God the fuck. That one. I've never watched this one. That's how stressed I am. I buy these things and I forget to watch them. And also like, Firefly and like Vikings and Heroes and Mad Men. Like the ancient, the ancient entertainment of yesteryears. I'm so old. And it's like funny, like you have no idea. Like I'm listening to myself, but all I hear is literally my nose. So I have no clue if this actually works in any shape or form. I don't understand. I'm so confused by this audio monitoring business. Because it's like, oh yeah, it's supposed to work. And it's like, yeah, it appears to work, but like I can barely hear myself. So, okay. God damn it. Like, these are not as good as these. They're both 1080s. These are the 11s, these are the 12s. This is a better shoe. This is more like standard and boring. Then you have these. A lot of people basically celebrate these shoes, which are Mach 5s. I think that they're horribly unstable. But then again, I'm a fat ass. If you're a big fat man, like these are extremely unstable. And these are the new hotness. The Asics Super Blast 2. They're extremely lightweight. Like I bought these because I was basically I bought the Mach 5s and then I basically felt like, well, I'm a fat ass and basically like I need something that's more stable. So it's like the Mach 5s basically probably work if you're a skinny little person, but if you're a fat ass like me, you want something more stable. And I think basically this Super Blast 2 is like a more stable shoe. Well, much more stable shoe. It's like basically like the Mach 5s is like walking on styrofoam. It's like maybe that's an insult, but it's like they're so unstable that it's like crazy. And it's like what's funny is like these, the 1080s, 11s. These are extremely special shoes because they're like they feel like something different. Whereas like these which basically went after the 11s, these are the 12s. These just feel like a sneaker. It just feels boring. It's not that interesting, even though it's good. It's a good shoe, but it's like you can see you can see I almost wore them out, and you can compare here they're almost worn out. It's like I wear out my shoes. I'm not a person who basically like, oh yeah, I have a bunch of shoes. It's like I basically use them until they fall apart. And like this shoe is very impressive because it's basically like it's very close to your foot, and like it's very like it basically feels like something different. And these also feels like something different, but they're basically massively unstable. So it's like because it's basically just you're riding directly on the foam, so they're like a massively unstable shoe. And like these are the wonder shoes. These are the ones that everybody claims are the best shoes. But I don't know, like I have not really used them much because they're completely white and I don't want to trash them. But it's like, it feels fantastic. And it's very lightweight. and it's monstrously expensive. It's the most expensive shoe I own. So, but anyway,